they'll get what they call title insurance. But after they search it and they say, okay, everything's cool, then they'll go to a company, which is called a title insurance company, and they buy you a title policy. It's just like an insurance policy on the title. That if somebody do knock at your door and say, this here my granddaddy land, then your title insurance company will defend that in court for you. You don't have to defend that, so you pay that up front. So, and there's lender fees, like the lender that you get the money from, they charge you so much money for the privilege of getting the money from them, so you have to pay that. Also, they require that the taxes and insurance is escrowed every month in the payment. Say, for instance, your payment is $800 a month. Maybe $100 of that is taxes and insurance for the upcoming year. Because what they want to do is make sure that they're not depending on you at the end of every year to come up with lump sums to pay insurance or lump sums to pay taxes. They want to be sure that all that's paid. So every month that you're making your mortgage payment, you're usually making 4 bills in one. It's your you're making a payment on the $100,000 that you got. You're putting in a little bit every month for your taxes, putting in a little bit every month for your insurance. Then you're putting in also, if you get 100% financing, you have to get what they call PMI, which is private mortgage insurance, which means that if you default on your loan, if they have a foreclosure on you, the private mortgage insurance will pay the bank the money that you stuck them with, and then they take the property and then they sell it. You know, basically how it works. But it's there to protect the bank, not for you. It protects the bank, but you gotta pay it. So that's 4 little bills in one that makes that $800 a month. Okay. So closing costs can include all of those things, but the good thing is you can ask the seller to pay those on your behalf. If you ain't got a chunk of money sitting around somewhere, you know, I can negotiate. Say, for instance, that the house is $100,000, and you say that you want to say, Brenda, okay, I really love this house. And I said, okay, well, before we go out and look, I always ask my people, how much money do you have saved towards this whole thing? Because I need to know what your budget is so we can negotiate smart. You may have $1,000 saved, but you know that $1,000 is going to get ate up, and it's upfront fees that we're going to go over in a minute. Upfront funds needed got nothing to do with closing costs. All of this is different pots of money. That's why I got it broken out so you know there's different pots of money. So we go over that upfront funds needed in a minute. But closing costs, we can negotiate. Okay. Say, for instance, if we say, Mr. Seller, you want $100,000. We'll give you $100,000, but I want you to pay all my closing costs. If your lender said that's going to be 5% of the purchase price, that's what, $5,000? Right? So I'm saying, Mr. Lender, here's $100,000, but we want $5,000 of that back in behalf of the buyer that you leave on the table for their closing expense. Mr. Seller may come back, so to him, your offer is $95. He may come back saying, well, no, I need more than that. So I'll take the $100,000 and I'll just do 3%, which is $3,000. But if you don't have that other $2,000 sticking around somewhere, then we're just going to have to go back and keep negotiating until we get to the number that you need to be in to fit your budget. And if we, at the end, we just cannot get Mr. Seller to negotiate, and I'm using the whole numbers because even, you know, with it being $100,000, you know, I'm going to run what's called comps for y'all, which means this house, he wants $100,000, but I'm going to look to see what the house sold down the street or round the corner that was similar in size and location or whatever, see what they selling for. And then I'll tell them, based on that, this house may be worth $100, but it may be worth $120, or it may be worth $90. But I'm going to give you my educated information as to what I think is worth. And then, but our goal is always going to be to try to get it below what it's worth. That's going to be my goal, to always to try to help you buy smart. Now, if we got 2 or 3 different buyers, that's a hot property. 2 or 3 different people want that house because it's so nice, and properties in that area don't come up the If I tell you it's worth at least the 105 or the 120 or whatever, I'm gonna tell you, make sure you bid the amount that you will sleep at night if you get it, or you'll sleep at night if you don't get it. So that's the way that you bid when you're in what they call a multiple offer situation, which means more than one buyer wants the house. And then it's just gonna be whoever it's meant to be to get it, will get it. But you just got to throw your whole kitchen sink, negotiate and hardballs out the window. Then I hate those. But then I'm gonna tell you, but then I'm still my competitive side is come out where I want to help you win. So I'm gonna tell you, okay, you're gonna have to act like you want it if you want it, But still, we got to work within your budget. If we still know that you don't have the extra money for the closing costs, then we just have to go up, but still make sure we ask for that money, that you need. And then if you don't get it, we just move on to another house. That's all. That just wasn't yours, because whatever you got in your finances is what you got, and there is something out there for you, and we just have to keep on looking till we find it. So y'all have any questions so far? Anybody?
What happens if a house is on the market for a long time, and are they easy to negotiate?
Well, it depends. It probably is some reason why they're on the market for a long time. 2 years or 2 to 3 years. Oh yeah, that's definitely a reason why it's on the market. And it could be condition. It may have some condition problems that you're not familiar with. Could be the person owes so much money on their loan, and they can't qualify for what's called a short sale, which means that they can sell the property for less than what they owe the bank, and they just got a price up there where it's just too high for the market, and they can't afford to come down. So they're stuck with the higher price, or they so housing, they stuck, they're just not coming down. It's all kind of reasons why people won't come down with their prices. So case by case, I will look up the property, research it, and tell you what the problem is. Usually we can tell you what the problem is without talking to the seller's agent. Can't teach you by a little bit of research. And then we will call the listing agent and ask them, what's wrong with this place? They are obligated to tell us if it's called a material fact. They're obligated to tell you. Because the real estate commission tells us if we know something wrong, if we know it as a realtor, we are obligated by our license to tell you what it is, even if the seller don't want us to tell us. If we know that that house was full of mold and he went through there with some Clorox and painted up everything after he took that black mold down, if we know that, we are obligated to tell you. Now, whether all of them will,
but that's before you get the part of the inspection.
That's right. We get ready, and we get ready to go over there. But still, some of them so good, the inspector, he ain't gonna cut open the walls right. Some of them put some lipstick on a pig, and they only can't do the inspector is only gonna be able to, that's our real solid. We don't know if they put 2 or 3 different boards over a whole bunch of stuff up under there. There ain't nobody gonna cut that open. But all we can do is hope that everything, the home inspector, well, let's go ahead and go over some of that. Let's jump back in the middle here, up front for us needed. Now, when we started negotiating with Mr. Seller and everything, and he said yes to our price, we got to put up what they call good faith money. That's earnest deposit. Like here, Mr. Seller, his $500 or $1,000 good faith money. So you will put that up, and it'll stay in a trust account, what they call, a trust account, which is either the attorney's bank account or the real estate agent's bank account, which is just sit there till we finalize the deal at the end. And say, for instance, if you still was using the green, let's say $1,500 at the table at the end, then if you had put $500 down at the beginning, then you only have to bring $1,000. So, they deduct it. It's not lost money, but you got to put some kind of good faith money up. So that's what deposit is. Now, earnest deposit can be refunded to you for different things because I always put some kind of contingencies in contract to protect you. The first contingency would be that, Mr. Seller, here's $100,000 offer on your house. I want the 3% closing costs back. Here's $500 deposit. He said yes to all that. Then I'm going to also have that contract. We want 10 days for a home inspection. So during those 10 days when we do a home inspection, if you find something that's majorly wrong with the house that you didn't know about, and then you ask the seller, will you fix X, Y, Z, and he say no, you will have the right to just to say kill the deal. As long as we do it within that 10 days, you can get that $500 back. Are you with me? If we tell Mr. Seller that I put 10 days in the contract, and then we tell Mr. Seller on day 11, I don't want this house, and because it's ragged. I want my money. You ain't got it back. But you ain't get that back. So it's going to be my job as a realtor to make sure that I keep what they call the timekeeper. I'll make sure that whatever date's in the contract that I am very conscious of, so you won't lose your money. That's one of my jobs. Then also we'll put a contingency in there that you get a final loan approval. Now you went to the bank at the beginning. They gave you a pre-approval, but then we got to go through the whole process. And that takes about 30 days. Because after you get a contract on a property, they still got to send out the appraiser. Because even though I run my numbers and tell you that the house is worth $100,000, the bank is going to hire a certified appraiser to go out and tell them it's worth $100,000. And it's to protect you and the bank, but you have to pay for that. So that fee is there. The home inspection fee that I just spoke about, the home inspector is certified home inspector will be somebody that will go check everything in the house, everything from the roof, how the roof is, to the burners on the stove, and let you know if everything's working okay. And that costs me the $400. Now you have to pay that up front. Even if you decide not to go for it, because the house, the inspection came out so bad, but that man that went on that roof, he already checked that electric and that plumbing, went up under that house. So you're going to have to, you be out that money, but it's the best $400 you being out. It's better to pay $400 and not get $100,000 worth of headache. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people, well, if you got the roof on, just thank the man. Thank the man. And go save over $400 and we go out and find another house and hope the inspection be better on the next one. But that's the best money that you can spend. And it's so important that you get a home inspection that I tell all my people to do that. But if you decide not to, I get you to sign a waiver that says that I encouraged you or told you to do it and you opted out. Now, why am I going to do that?
You don't come back and say it's your fault. Not fault.
No matter how hard I try. No matter how hard I try. If somebody is buy $100,000 house and they end up with a bunch of headaches, they're going to start feeling a little salty about me. Even though I ain't good. Thank God, knock on wood, it's been 3 years, I never had a buyer come back to me to say, Brenda, you did me wrong. And so I ain't about to try to start now. So I'll make sure somebody sign a waiver, but thank goodness I haven't had a buyer yet that once I explain how important it is, not say, okay, I'll not do it. Because, they understand I'm really protecting you. I'm really protecting you, and you need to protect yourself. Thank goodness that everybody see the importance of a home inspection. Same thing with a termite inspection. Home inspection is optional. That's not anything you have to do to get along, but it's encouraged that you do it. Termite inspection, if you're doing a USDA, VA, or FHA, which I'm going to make over to FHA in a minute, if you're doing an FHA loan, termite inspection is mandatory because they got to make sure that the house is not being ate up by termites. You want to know that too. The home inspector, if he's doing an inspection and he sees active termites, he's going to tell you, but he's not going to be able to give you what's called a termite report. The bank is going to require a termite report. So that's pretty much what you spend for $50. Okay? The appraisal, again, that's $4 to $450. That's something you got to pay up front to the lender so they can order the appraisal. If the house is on a septic tank, a septic inspection is anywhere from 150 to 175. There again, if you're doing a government loan, a USDA, VA, or FHA, it's required if you have a septic tank that you do a septic inspection. There again, they are lending you this kind of money. They want to be sure you're not buying a house with a septic tank that's contaminated or getting ready to cave in. Same with the well. If it's a well, they want the water tested. They want to make sure you're not buying a house with got contaminated water. All this stuff you want to know yourself, you know, but they make it mandatory that you do it. And but only on government loans, okay? But so those are the fees for that. Survey is not required by banks anymore. It used to be, but it's not anymore. Survey, you what that is, of course, you know, they go and put the stakes down on all four corners so you know where your lines are. And a lot of times, especially in the country, you know, people don't know where their lines are. People have for years used, you know, over the line. Now that was fine, you know, so much out there in the country was family land for years, so nobody cared that, you know, Uncle Joe got a wick across their yard or planted a tomato plant over here. But you don't know Uncle Joe. You don't know Uncle Joe, you don't know them, but you want that house. So you need to get your survey and put some clear lines in there so you know what's yours and what's not. And then a lot of times in the country, you know, they come over and say, look, this is the, that ain't right. That ain't right. Everybody knows this is our land right here. We've been like that forever. It just means it's been wrong forever. That's all. It never was right. So if you find a lot of time in the city and subdivisions, it's kind of clear where your lines are, kind of, you know. But when it's rural area, I'm telling you, best money you can spend, you need to know where your lines are at. Because I don't know that property no more than you. We both went there at the same time. I just tell you where the lines are. That's about, this is people ask me, where's the line? I don't know. That's one thing about me. I've been doing this 23 years. I ain't gonna blow no smoke or nothing. If I don't know, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. You know, I don't know. But I can tell you somebody you can how to find out. Because I know this is my expertise. The real estate, that's my expertise. The surveyor, he know what he doing. Home inspector, he know what he doing. So I got a whole list of professionals that can answer every question you got. But mine's going to be limited to what I know, and I'm going to stay right in my lane. Ain't no problem with that, is it? Stay right in my lane. So, okay, so we went over the fees, closing costs. All right, let me jump back up to the $100 down home. There are some foreclosed homes in our area and throughout the United States, which is called HUD homes. You have the website there, HUDhomestore.com. That is a free site. When you put in HUD homes online, all kind of mess come up. They ask you to pay some money to get a list. Where there's a free site. This site right here is free, and that's the official site for HUD homes, and you can find out what's available. The list changes daily, but with this one, it's $100 down. If you qualify for FHA loan, which is another government loan, if you qualify that at the bank, usually with a FHA loan, you have to put 3.5% down. Okay, it's not 100% financing. 3.5% down, you have to put out your pocket. But there are sources that the lender can tap into to get you that 3.5% if your credit scores are high enough. And but if your credit scores are not high enough, then you just have to come up with that 3.5% down. But if you buy a HUD home and do an FHA loan, you only have to do $100 down. The reason about that is HUD homes are homes that people had got an FHA loan on and they lost it to foreclosure. So the government paid off the bank, the government took the FHA loan house back, and now they're selling it on this website. And they're saying, okay, if you do another FHA loan and buy one of our houses, we'll give you an incentive to do that, and then you only have to come up with $100 down versus 3.5% that you would regular. Also, if you buy a HUD home, usually they have the appraisal already on file, so that's free to you. They usually have the termite already done, so that's free. And so they got some little perks there, incentives for you to buy. If you go to that website, you can search by county or either city. So I encourage you to visit the site, see what's there, because it's changing daily. Some houses are in good condition, some houses are not. So just like anything else with foreclosures. And but another good thing is that with HUD homes, if it needs some repairs, if you qualify for the extra money from the bank, you can borrow the extra money to get the houses fixed. And that's true with any FHA loan. If you qualify for that type of loan, which is called a 203K loan or a 203B loan, which means a rehab loan. So there are ways that you can buy a house that needs work if you qualify for the rehab portion of a loan. So a lender would go over that in more detail. FHA loans, you can have a credit score as low as 580. And I don't think that, I haven't heard if that has changed. That's the last thing I've heard. Have you heard anything else, Tisha? I think you have it as low as 580. But at the 580, you wouldn't get as good of a credit interest rate as someone did who got a better score. So, our goal is, even though you can get in at the 580, we'll try to tell you ways to raise your score so you can get a cheaper interest rate. We're all about empowering y'all with education so you can buy dirty and buying smart. Buying smart is the key to us.